In every city of the world, there are widely recognizable symbols and images that gives you a sense of pride about the city. These iconic symbols define to a large extent the culture and the rhythm of the city. For example, how do you see London without the red buses? Or New York without the Yellow Medallion cars? The same can be said about Calgary's iconic yellow cabs from Checker Transportation Group.
Hi, I am Lanre Ajayi, and I'm reaching you now on channel 1973.1 DT on people, places, and events. This is My City Speaks to Me, the Calgary edition, coming to you now from the headquarters of Checker Transportation Group in Southwest Calgary.
Welcome to the Yellow Legacy. In 1974, our Enders, president and driving force behind the Checker Transportation Group, wanted to improve the taxi industry in Calgary with emphasis on quality and service. That led him to purchase Killarney Taxi in 1975. What all started as a family business remains that way, with children Kurt and Kim Enders continuing in his legacy. Checker prided itself on being an industry leader, putting emphasis on quality and service, in line with the vision of the founding father. All provided a chauffeur experience with taxi prices and insisted his drivers be professionally dressed in suits and ties, driving a fleet of black taxis. Today, that tradition continues, except the fleet is bright yellow with a great number of hybrid vehicles. Checker introduced an app in 2014 called Checker Calgary, enabling them to provide 4.5 million trips each and every year. Thank you, Calgary, for supporting local. The Checker Transportation Group demonstrates its commitment to making its community and the people in it the best they can be. Some community partnerships have included the Fort Mac Will Fight Back, Mustard Seed, Women in Need, Calgary Era Christmas Fund, United Way of Calgary, Humanity First Canada, Walk a Mile in Our Shoes, Big Brothers, and the Calgary Educational Literacy Program. The Checker Transportation Group continues to support its communities in order to help others build better lives. This and many more are the reasons why I want to tell the story that is making our community great. Today, my focus is not only on the history and achievement of this great organization. I want to bring attention to the great works of men and women who are constantly behind the wheels of these yellow cabs. They are part of the community of individuals, creating the yellow legacy and defining the cultural rhythm of our city. They move Calgarians from one point to another, even in the peak of the coronavirus pandemic.
I'm talking about the ladies and gentlemen of the yellow cab drivers. They are the community heroes, driving us from one area to the other, ensuring that Calgarians arrive at their destination safely.
On this special edition of My City Speaks to Me, subtitled Yellow Legacy, I get to chat with some of these drivers, along with some management staff of this organization. They will be sharing with us some of the great work they've been doing, the challenges of their work, and some of the most exciting things they've experienced at one point or the other in the delivery of their services.
So what is happening this morning?
This morning we're taking off to the Atco Blue Flame Kitchen, and we're going to pick up a lot of meals, and this is through the Kirby Center. They contacted me after I put a message on Twitter asking if I could help in any way on behalf of Checker Cab to deliver some food to people that can't get out. So today we're going to pick up a bunch of meals and we're going to scoot around the city and we're going to deliver, and I'm really, really excited about this.
Is this one of the things that you do at Checkers?
Well, I've been at Checker for about 6 years, and when I realized the amount of charity and fundraising and different things that Checker Cab has done, I sort of started to embellish on it. So quite often I am fortunate enough to go to all kinds of places. I go everywhere from pet rescue. We've been to many, many things. Seniors, we've done the Seniors Food Bank. We've raised money for the Alex here in Calgary. kids up front, so many places. I can't even remember them all, but I'm so blessed that my boss and his sister, the vice president, the president, the vice president, they say, yeah, go Lena, and away I go. And sometimes I have this little smart car so full I can barely see it. We'll head on over to Calgary Drop-In Center. So yeah, it's really a big part of my job, and I've missed it a lot because we haven't been able to go out. But today I'm doing it, so yay, here we go. You're waiting for me.
No, not at all. 10 o'clock deliveries. You're still early.
You're just happy to be outside on this beautiful day.
I am. It's so much better than yesterday. So today's your first day delivery?
It is my first day, yes.
Okay, so we will always make sure that everything's set up for you.
Okay.
We get a volunteer list with any allergies or anything for the people you're delivering to.
Okay.
And we've tried to create a menu to look after everybody's needs.
Okay.
So in the off chance you did have somebody with a food allergy,
Right.
we would tie a
And I
blue
do.
glove just to the top of the bag. Today they're having tomato soup, so you have 2 no porks and 2 no red meat, but they're
Got
looked
that.
after.
Right, okay.
So everybody just gets the same thing. 1 bag with soup, a bun, some butter, and a nice little picture and a piece of art from an ATCO employee's child.
Oh, how fantastic. Make sure you get my fabulous shoes. So
We got the food?
We've got the food, and we're going to scoot off to the northeast. We've got 2 people that are going to get a meal right off the bat. So here we go. We're going to go all the way back to the north now. I like it.
You know, a lot of organizations have been affected by the COVID-19. And you just mentioned that, you know, this is one of the things you do regularly, but because of the COVID, you know, it has, you know, sort of delayed this type of community service. So walk us through how you've been able to cope, you know, or how you've been, you know, reaching out in your own way.
Well, I've always been trying to reach out to different organizations, but it takes so much footwork, and I'm so impressed with the Kirby Center. They have made sure that they're out delivering to people that can't get out, people that are shut in, and they told me in my instructions that if someone needs to have a conversation, please have a conversation with them, sit and chat with them. I want to talk to people because you can feel for them. They haven't got to see a lot of people, so that's the part I'm really looking forward to, that maybe I can have some conversations and maybe make someone's day a little bit brighter.
So we're here at the first drop-off center.
We're at the first. I just have to check my instructions. Do you want me to open the gate, or do you want me just to hand it over to you? There's 2 for you, right? For you and then your wife, I believe?
Yeah.
Terrific. All right, sir. There you go. I'm going to call like that because it's soup today, I believe. There you go. All right. Thank you. You have a great day. I just feel it's important, and so does our company. We feel it's important to give back because for 45 years, the Checker Cab has been here. It's a locally owned family business, and they have given so much to so many people, and because of what people have done for them. And because of COVID, we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going, and if the Kirby Center needs any more, or Confederation Park Senior Center, or ARC, or so many places, if they need help, we're going to bop on over there, and we're going to see what we can do to help them as well. Oh, thank you. It's my little Checker Smart car.
Tell us about this car.
This car has its own personality. Sometimes I think it's real. Everybody in Calgary knows it. No matter where I am, sometimes I'll scoot out to Banff, or I'll go to Canmore, or I'll go to Okotoks, and I come out of wherever I happen to be. Everyone's taking a photo.
Your cab drivers covers almost all quadrants of the city of Calgary.
They sure do, everywhere. And we do often take folks out of town. During COVID, we were driving people to Edmonton because now with the lack of services for bus, we had one person, their mother had passed away and they needed to get to Edmonton and they couldn't get there. And one of our drivers dropped everything. He drove her up to Edmonton and she wrote us a beautiful letter saying she was so appreciative.
It's not just about service, but it's about adding value to lives and community.
It is. I'm so proud of our drivers. We've just got so many folks and they're from so many different countries. I loved hearing all their wonderful stories from where they've come from.
I'm a superwoman. I love my job. Hello, my name is Natana Tisak. I'm from Eritrea. I've been in Calgary for 14 years. Now I'm a taxi driver with Checker Company.
My name is Ben. I'm from Ethiopia originally. I lived in Calgary for 14 years.
Hello, my name is Jazz and I'm working with Checker for last 3 years. My name is Amadou Faye. I've been working with Checkers like 4 years now. Hi, my name is Isaac, and I've been working with Checker for the past 3 years. And the experience is marvelous. It's great. It's a big company. It's a good company that everybody needs to work for.
My name is Lanre Ajayi. I'm working with the Checker.
How long have you been working with Checkers?
Almost 1.5 decade, 14 years.
How long have you been working with Checker?
32 years.
32 years, that's amazing. You know, and what has made you stay with this organization for this years?
These are great people to work with. They are just fun, and they help you out when there's a problem. They're there for you.
Now, the one thing to note is Checker drivers are all independent contractors.
Okay.
They have to pass their classes through the city of Calgary. They have training, and then we do our own Checker training as well. But yes, of course, men, women, you name it. We have lots of husband and wife teams. They're just fantastic. The husband may drive during the day and the wife drives during the night. That way one person can be home with the children. So it's very flexible for drivers.
Hi, my name is Jaswant Thoti, and I drive a Checker last 16 years. Me and my husband both drive a Checker, and we love Checker. And our Checker is like a family. It's not a like company.
Hi, my name's Alex. I've been working with Checkers for about a year and a half, or going to my second year now. Driving a taxi allows you to manage your time according to your family schedule, your own schedule, and allows you to do other work that you may have on the side, especially if you do own the car, or if you have the car 24 hours with you. That way you can manage your time. So especially during the pandemic time, I was able to take advantage of this time and work on a magazine. And I published a magazine just now. It's called Habesha Magazine, Habesha.
I love to work with Checker because it is a good company and it's flexible with my kids and to pick up and drop off.
I really enjoy driving. That's why I choose this profession. And I always love to meet new people. I want to learn more about city, about the country.
I like Checker because they like a better organization. Because before I get into Checkers, I did my little survey. I asked all these companies, but I got these Checkers because they have better organization. So people are great, and they can help you wherever you have questions. You can ask them. So they're all good.
Nowadays my life, I have enough time, anytime, pick up from school, drop from school, manage time. My daughter is my life. We're going to have a wonderful morning. Love you. Come in. We're going to have a good day today. Bye bye.
We have drivers. I've got one driver, he's a PhD. He used to be in oil and gas, and sadly he lost his job, and he wanted to make sure he was still out supporting his family. And that's what he does. We hear the story over and over and over again. Lots of people are IT professionals, different things, but they want to make some money, and so they start driving.
Hi, my name is Ahsan Aminzad. I'm from Afghanistan, and I got immigrant in Canada in 1987. And I went to DeVry Institute of Technology, and I took CIS, Computer Information System, and I studied for 2 years, and I worked in a computer industrial in Toronto, and then I decided to come back to Calgary, and because Calgary was my hometown, I was first landed in here, and I decided to raise my family. I was working with Integral Property Services, and I was a manager of operation looking after 79 buildings, including all the government buildings, and I was had few supervisor and looked after 300 employees. And I had a couple good friends, which one of them is driving now a taxi. His name is Ahsan Ajayi. They both encouraged me to come and work with a Checker, because it's a very good company, and it's like your own boss and very flexibility and stuff like that. So I tried to come here and tried it over the weekend, and I kind of liked it, and very good and independent and everything. Then I quit my job and I just start Checker since then.
A woman can do any job as men is doing. Like my experience is I was doing like I used to bus driver before, school bus driver. I worked for 7 years because it was flexible with my kids as well, that one, because I can carry my kids and the bus. But now they're growing, so I don't need to carry them with me, right? Then I choose to drive Checker taxi. So if any woman say like I can do it and they can do it, we have to be strong as the men. What they do, we can do.
So you're telling me a story about the driver that you raised, Checkers returning $1,000.
Well, he as well as the young lady in his cab were killed by a drunk driver. We are very much involved with MAD Calgary. We go every year, we take in our cars and we speak at it because it's so important to know that not one single drink of alcohol you should be in a car, and that young lady did everything right. She took a cab the way she was supposed to, and her family speak at MAD Calgary all the time, and it's so emotional to go. But it's not called an accident. Accident is not from drinking and driving. It's a collision is what they call it, because nobody should ever get in a car after one drop of alcohol. And that's why I believe our service is so important. Nothing is worth your life or someone else's life. And the pain that family has gone through, both families, because both families lost their father and their daughter. But I was so proud of the Checker drivers that raised the money, and the owner of Checker as well, and they gave money to the family. I mean, nothing is going to bring back their father, who was the driver. But it's just a small thing that we could do to try and help the family. Uh-oh. Oh no, there's one yesterday too. That's not good. And that door's locked. I'm going to call the Kirby Center. I want to have someone, maybe a family member, check on her. Okay, I have the Kirby Center's number as well. I think I should definitely do that. Hello, are you Marie? Are you Marie? I'm Lena, and I'm bringing you some food. Oh, now somebody brought you some yesterday, which I don't think is going to be any good anymore. I didn't know. Yeah, I phoned you, but now this is the good one. But this one I don't think we want to eat because it's been sitting there overnight. Checker is a big organization. We have a lot of people working, so there's a lot of moving parts.
Of course.
People still think of
45 years, in Calgary. That is amazing.
And 1,400 drivers, so do the math on that. That's a lot of people that have gone through.
My name is Paul Sherva. I'm the operations manager here at Checker. I've been with Checker for 10 years now. And interesting industry. I was never involved in the taxi industry before I came here, and I fell in love with the industry because it's exciting, and more than excitement is the fact the way people are treated here at Checker.
Hi, my name is Frank Vermella. I'm with Checker Taxi. I've been with Checker for about 15 years. I currently are involved in driver development and some special projects. And so I work with the drivers, and I hope, I teach the new drivers when they come in. We do some training programs, and then I also deal with drivers coming back to learn more about how to work the cars, and how to do good customer service, and that kind of stuff.
My name is Madeline, and I've been working with Checker for 7 years in the dispatch room. So I moved to Calgary back in 2012 and from Manitoba, and this city is amazing. There's always someone wanting to help out. We've got gorgeous views. We've got a lot of fun freeways to drive on. That's one of my favorite parts, and we're so close to the mountains. And anywhere you look, if you need a taxi, there's a Checker yellow cab there waiting around the corner.
What happens is a lot of our drivers, they're the first generation into the city of Calgary or into Canada. So they bring this optimism, and they bring this hope, and they bring their dreams for, starting a family, having their family do very well, and they become taxi drivers, and they become a fabric part of the community. They get to know the community, they know the ins and outs, they know the different people. And then years later, they're picking people up at the airport that have just arrived, and they recognize people, and they're new, and they're helping them get to where they need to go. If I use this example, if you ever want to know what's going on in Calgary, ask a taxi driver.
So my job is to talk about my drivers and support drivers. I do a lot of work with Tourism Calgary, Chamber of Commerce. I'm out doing some work with BBB, you name it. We're out there and we're out talking all the time about how important it is to support local. The owner, Kurt, he's the son, and his sister Kim, she's the vice president. Brother and sister, their mom and dad started Checker, and I sadly never had the opportunity to meet Mr. Enders. Al, I heard he was bigger than life. He was everywhere. He was very instrumental with the Olympics. He was honorary member of the Nigerian community because of the support he gave to folks from Nigeria. He was everywhere, and we looked through some of the archives of Checker, and there's Mr. Enders' photo. He was everywhere in his plaid suits. Such a cool man. It's quite fascinating. Kurt, he's done everything from pump gas to drive taxi to drive limo, because they own Ambassador Limousine as well, to picking garbage, to meeting with the mayor. He's everywhere. Kim is a little bit more shy. She likes to kind of be behind the camera. I always tell her she's so cool. She needs to get in front of the camera, but she likes to kind of stay behind and let her. Actually, she puts her daughters in some of our stuff that we post, and as well, Kurt has a couple children.
Let's get to know what keeps the organization moving, and how they've been able to manage this business, for over 45 years. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Kurt and Kim.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, nice to see you.
And it's an honor for me to be doing this, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to make this happen, because you guys are very busy. You work a lot, and I appreciate taking time to talk to Calgarians and Canadians. Tell us about the beginning of this organization, the story.
So back in 1974, my dad was a calculator salesman, and one day decided there was a cab company up for sale called Killarney, and their offices were right downtown, right across from St. Mary's High School and the cathedral right downtown. And so from there, that was when he got his feet wet in the taxi industry. There was about 10 cars back then, and then from there, a few years later, he started Shamrock Taxi. And again, they were green color, had the big shamrock on the door, and some of the iconic things they would do back then was during St. Paddy's Day, they would all dress up like leprechauns with their green top hats and their sparkling vests and drive around. And then my dad decided to say, you know what, there's a time we need to change. We need to elevate the taxi service in Calgary. He wanted to create a limousine-style taxi, or limousine-style service at taxi rates, and that's when Checker came into play. They were your luxury brands, your Buick, Park Avenues, your Chrysler New Yorkers back then, the Lincoln Town Cars and the Cadillacs. And then just over the years, we started buying up taxi companies. We bought Yellow in, I think it was 1990, and which came of that was Red Top Taxi, Prestige, and so we had about 4 or 5 different brands that we were running around the city. And then from there, we just said, you know what, we're probably going to be much more efficient for Calgarians to create one big brand. So that's where the Checker Yellow came into effect, and we liked and we seesawed back and forth from keeping the black cars or going back to the yellow. And yellow was such an iconic color. Like you said, in New York, everywhere you go, you would see a yellow car and so forth. So we kept the yellow color, but also kept the Checker name with it, and now today it's just called Checker Cabs. We grew from 10 cars back in 74 to, pre-COVID, we were a fleet of 900 taxis with 1,400 drivers. So it's been a whirlwind of changes, and I've been in it pretty much my whole life. I grew up doing this, so. Wow,
that's amazing. Now, I can't imagine, how do you manage, 1,400 drivers?
We've got a great team. A lot of our staff have been here for many, many years, some as much as 40 years since my dad started in the taxi business.
Amazing. So Kim, at what point you decided, I'm going to join this business?
As a teenager, I would come in the summertime and I would help out in our stand rent office, which is the people that deal with the drivers on a daily basis. So I would sit in the room, and back in the days, that's when you could smoke all day long. So I would sit there and with this group of people, and I got to master my adding machine skills that I still use to this day. I'm a machine on an adding machine. And so that's where I started. Then when I graduated high school, I took some time off, and I didn't go back to school, university right away. I went back 5 years later and got my degree in business. So after that, I came in and did courier. So I ran the courier division for quite a few years. And then I left and did my own sort of thing, and then came back because my dad needed help. And so I've kind of dabbled in all little areas of the place. I've worked in the call center. I've cleaned limos, not as much as Kurt does because that's his thing. But a lot of the office work, I can do pretty much all the jobs.
And that gives you an idea of how this business operates from the grassroots up to the leadership position. As the president of Checker, what would you say has been your inspiration and critical success factor that has led to this point?
You know what? I started coming into work when I was very young. Every time my dad would come into, my dad worked pretty much 7 days a week, keeping the business going, and so I would come in.
Our dad.
Coming in, so I would come in and I would, weekends I'd come and I would just do odds and ends. So I grew up doing every aspect. There's not a job I have not done in this company. I've worked in the body shop, worked in the garage, worked in the radio technician shop. I was a supervisor, I was a cab driver, I was a limo driver.
You're a cab driver too?
I've still got my badge today. I haven't driven for a while, but I've gone out and I've done every aspect of the job. I've worked in the call center. So there's nothing, and I sort of worked my way up the ranks. And I always said there's not a job that I wouldn't expect someone else to do that I'm not going to do myself. And I'll be out there weed whacking, I will pick up garbage. I don't care what it is, because being a leader is you've got to show that you're prepared to get your hands dirty and do anything that everyone else, as opposed to just sitting back at your desk and watching everyone do it. So when our dad did pass away, I had a good knowledge of the business. I knew what was happening. I wasn't being thrown into a business that I knew absolutely nothing about. I still had a massive learning curve to what he did, but yeah, I think just the upbringing and the values that our parents instilled in us of the work ethic I think was very crucial to where we are today.
That's amazing, leading by example.
Right.
So as a Canadian transport group, what makes your organization unique?
This may sound cliche, but you know what, we really care about our drivers and our staff. Like, there's days that I always worry about what's going to happen to our drivers on the night shift, because the night shift and day shift are completely different. Are we going to have a driver injured, or because they're dealing with, you get someone that's had too much to drink and they're got anger issues or whatever might happen. So I always concerned about our drivers and their safety and how they're going to feed their families and look after, because it's not just our 1,400 drivers that work for us, it's their family and their kids. So our family network is very, very big. I have an open door policy. Anyone anytime can walk into my office if they want to talk, they want to vent, they want to just blow off some steam or come in with suggestions, because we grow and make changes by our drivers, because they are truly the front line, and we get our feedbacks and suggestions from them. Not all of them work, but we, variants of it, we try to listen to them and say, here's what we can do better.
We see all of our employees and all of our drivers as extended family. We've had people that have been working with us for, since start, 40 years. Some of the jokes around the office are, I used to bounce Kurt on my knee when he was a little kid. And, so we're talking long-term people here. But the other thing that we do as an organization is we like to give back as a community. I remember when our mom and dad were still running the organization, we would go to the Nigerian galas, and our dad was made an honorary Nigerian. And so what we do is, we've done collaborations with different organizations. For instance, like Homefront. Homefront is for domestic abuse. So we've put big decals on the doors I think we did it for 3 years.
Yes, yeah.
And then come Christmas time, we put bins out so we can collect toys for needy families that, the city comes together, carloads, they show up and we drop off carloads of toys and gifts for families that are in need. We have the next one that coming up right now is we're doing collections for the Veterans Food Bank. We get lots of items, as you can imagine, in lost and found that people forget in the taxis and they just don't come back to get them. So, you know, like we just did a drop off for canes to old age homes. So we're trying to always give back. So that's what I think that sets us apart from maybe other organizations, other taxi companies, is we're always trying to give back to our city.
What excites you each day you wake up to go to work? What motivates you?
What motivates me?
Yeah.
The drivers motivate me. Hearing the stories of the drivers, hearing the good news stories, hearing what they have done for the community.
I can remember one where a mother said that she didn't know who the driver was, but she wanted to send a thank you to the driver because her daughter was being chased, and the driver quickly opened the car and took her home without receiving any payment for it. We've had drivers stop and help people with injured animals, take them to the vets.
I pick up a little old lady with 8 bags of groceries. She lives on a 3rd floor walk-up. She's pushing 90. So I took the groceries up to the door for her, and meeting her halfway down the stairs, she says, "Oh, that was so good of you. I have to give you something for helping me out like that." And she tipped me a dime. That's the greatest tip I ever got.
Okay, one day I drive early morning. I pick up the husband wife. He just newly married, like 2 days or 3 days ago. I take from Cranston to airport, like 45-minute drive, right? When we reach airport, the guy asked the lady, "You pick up the passport?" She said, "No, you pick up the passport." They start fighting, like really bad, because the lady said, "I need a divorce right now. I don't want to go to the honeymoon with you." And she go out, right? And then I talked to the gentleman. He said, "Take me to back. We pick up the passport." Then I said, "Listen, slowly, she's hyper. Don't worry. If you hyper and she hyper, then it's bad, right? So please cool down." And then he said, "Okay." She listened to me. She said, "How you guys handle like in your community if they have a problem?" I said, "Me and my husband, we have so many times this problem, but we sit and we solve." Then I take home and pick up passport. I said, "Go over there, say sorry, that's my mistake." Then all problem is done. And he's laughing and he said, "I tried this formula in my whole life."
Some of they just get in the car and they, "Hi sir," and all of a sudden when they see, "Oh, a woman driver taxi," and this makes me proud, and that's why I love my job and I'm happy.
I had a driver that returned, I believe it was around $1,500, and nobody came forward with it. And I said to him, "I want to post a story with you." He said, "Please don't put my name in it. That's not what I want to do." He said, "Somebody did something kind for me, so I've made my life being kind." So we ended up donating that money. I believe it was the Calgary Food Bank. There's so many unsung heroes out there that we never know about, and they're out just doing good. And often I put messages on our driver screens, and it'll just say something about, there's 3 things that are important in life: be kind, number 2, be kind, and number 3, be kind.
Hello. Sat Sri Akal. Kya haal hai ji? Yay! Good. I know very little Punjabi, but when I get to say it, I like to speak it. Ah, exactly. Bye. Will this way? All right.
A gentleman from Vancouver wrote me a handwritten letter to thank, and I don't know the driver yet. I'm not sure if we can find him. His mother, who is 94 years old in Calgary, got scammed by CRA. Sorry, not by CRA, okay. By somebody claiming to be CRA. She went to the bank and withdrew $5,000. And then she called our company. The driver picked her up. And she was telling him that she needed to go to this location. And the driver thought, well, this doesn't seem right to me at all. And the driver drove her, and he said, "No, I'm not letting you out of this car. This is not right." And he drove the lady home, and he got a hold, I believe, of the police, and found out, yes, of course, this lady who was 94 was being scammed, and she would have lost $5,000. So her son wrote this letter thanking us and thanking the driver for saving his mom, and that just blew my mind. You know, the driver was on top of this, and he helped this lady. So we're going to try really hard to find out who this driver was. I don't know if we'll ever find out. There's so many stories like this.
we just reached back out to the son because we didn't have a lot of details, so he just got back to us today, or Friday I think it was, with where the pickup was. So now we're going to track the driver down to try and get some more information. But those stories go on all day long about the great job that we do. Like the example, we had a driver that there was a bunch of ducks going across the road, and he picked him up, put him in his car, and took him down to the river.
With the ducklings.
With the ducklings and all that stuff. So we've got lots of great stories that our drivers do, and they do so many good things, and they don't get recognized, and that's, I think, some of the challenges that I think people don't appreciate the hard work that the cab drivers go through. You know, they take you to the doctors, they take you home when you've had too much to drink, they take your kids to schools. They play such a key, vital role in keeping the city vibrant and going.
You say you love to help people. What are the things you've been doing? You know, tell us something unique about your job with your customers.
Well, I'm doing a wheelchair or accessible. I help them to inside, put the customer inside, open the door, make them happy, offer them some water or something whenever they need it.
We want to feel our job means something to someone, and we want to know what made a difference.
People find it easy to respect doctors and lawyers, teachers, lawyers, all of them.
Yeah.
When it comes to driver, you know, they think we just talk to them.
Well, they've come from whatever, wherever they came from back home, whatever country or city they were doctors, they were lawyers, they were engineers, they're highly educated. Their classes or their transcripts didn't transfer to the Canadian status or whatever the transferability is. And they knew that they were coming to Canada for a better life and to give their family a better chance, and they worked hard, and they've provided that for their wives and their kids, and they've done a great job doing it. So they're not just attached, they're highly educated people. That I don't think a lot of people know that.
And our drivers were frontline workers through COVID. Our drivers stayed working. So because a lot of people don't realize we do a lot of deliveries for the hospitals. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind in a taxi business that people don't know. We were driving the healthcare workers. We were driving all sorts of people that were exhausted from working hours and hours of COVID. And our drivers were out there working too, and I'm so proud of them, and they were putting their lives on the line just like everybody else was. They were taking precautions. We were putting the shields up before anybody told us we had to do it. We were on it immediately.
So it was March 15th when they said the schools were shut down. It was like the lights went off in Calgary, and at that time we had about 850 cars on the road. We went down to a low of 125 cars on the road for about a month and a half. It was a struggle. We, unfortunately, like everyone, you had to do some layoffs and then some permanent layoffs because we're still not back up to where we were. We're still at 50% now, what we are today, what we were pre-COVID. But what it's done is you get to see how your team works during a crisis. So we came across a gentleman that came in and was doing a medical grade disinfecting the vehicles, plus the shields we put in to ensure that those are staying clean, as well as all the drivers have got disinfected that they spray down after every trip to ensure that when the customers do get in, they're clean. We've sent out videos to the drivers on how to wash the car.
Okay, my name is Stavros Kasvikis. I'm the owner of Elegance Motor. We are a detailing company here in Calgary, and we are doing detailing when the drivers need it, and the disinfection progress with hospital grade disinfection. And also we provide some sanitizing bottles for the drivers whenever needed.
How has the COVID-19, affect your work?
Yeah, it's affected a lot of my job and my company, approximately 40 to 50%. But this is not only me, it's for everybody in my city. So hopefully this situation ends soon and we'll get back to normal.
And to this day, we've been very, very fortunate. We've had no drivers that have have got COVID-19, at least not to our knowledge. We haven't had any driver. Been very, very fortunate. I think it's because our drivers are taking that extra care to ensure their safety, and as well as the passengers through this whole very, very uncertain time.
With COVID-19, it's not an easy job to do this job, to be honest, but we're still doing it. We help people, we protect ourselves, and we protect our community and our city. And we carry customer safe and drive them home safe.
Because of COVID, these days it's not that much business, right? So I just want to request all the people that just call Checker Cab, call taxis. So then because we are rely on this taxi industry.
Hello, I'm bringing you some food today. Oh, you're so welcome. You have a nice day. And we're done. I made it.
It's a wrap.
Do you like my car? Oh yeah. Isn't it cute?
So every year we do a complete fleet inspections where we go, the management team will go through every car just to make sure what's the quality like, proper paperwork, get some update information on the driver in case there is ever an emergency. Again, gives us another touch point to see our drivers, see the condition of the fleet, and then normally right after inspections we would do our barbecue appreciation day for our drivers. And drivers would bring up their family. We even had drivers bring customers up. They had a customer in the car and they said, customer was, I'm taking him home, so I said, do you want to go for a burger at the office? And next thing you know, 30 minutes out of the customer's way, they come up to the office and have burgers, and they, customer goes, can I take some burgers home to my wife and kids? Sure. So we tinfoil up the burgers and they take them home, right? And so it's just a pride of the driver to say, do you want to come to my office and have a burger and meet the group and the team? And so that's always what the inspections have been about, is just to, let's make sure that we are being the best that we can be, and the cars are being extra clean. And of course, during COVID right now, we want to make sure that the cars are being extra clean, because you do have people getting in and out.
Drivers, headlights on. Signal. Step on your brakes. Put in reverse, do not back up.
Beyond Checker taxi cabs, you develop into a group. I have other divisions like the limousine and all of that, and basic limousine. Tell us about that.
So we used to have a courier warehouse distribution that we just actually sold off about 2 years ago. Now we still have our limousine, ambassador limousines, which is anywhere from the black car, chauffeur style. When you think of a chauffeur, you've got that is what he's in, the pressed black suit, white shirt, either in a stretch or in an unmarked black vehicle.
So, this is amazing. This is lovely. I love this. So tell us about, the limousine.
Well, this is a stretch limo, Lincoln. Holds 12 passengers to 14. Plus it has full liquor service.
That's amazing. How long have you been driving this?
Me now, this is my second year. But previous to that, I was a defensive driving instructor in the oil patch for 10 years.
Tell us about, this division of Checker.
Well, the Enders family that owned the Checker Transportation Group, locally owned, they decided many, many years ago to get into the limousine business, and we have high-end limousines and sedans as well. We take a lot of pride in our chauffeurs, our professional chauffeurs. They're professional drivers, and we are so proud of them. We've had so many of our drivers win White Hat Awards for excellent service. And if you ever get to drive in this baby, it's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful, beautiful car.
I think we should go inside and check out.
You should. We call them the twins.
Oh wow. This is class. This is excellence at its peak. Getting married, or for a special treat, or for that lady, or for that special occasion that you need a ride. This is amazing. I must say, I can get used to this. It's beautiful, it's comfy, and it's What else can I say? Amazing.
We have one of the largest lost and founds. You can imagine at Stampede, it is a bit of a gong show between passports, cell phones. We've lost everything, or found everything from an entire drum kit set to somebody lost their leg, their prosthetic leg.
Someone lost a prosthetic leg?
Yeah, I don't know how, but it was left in the back of a cab. We have a large lost and found, and so we're constantly returning.
Now, how you walk into a car with your artificial leg and then you left the car?
A lot of false teeth.
Wow.
A lot of false teeth are found.
What about cases like clothing items, shoes, legs that are lost,
some of the items we don't want to do. We get a lot of bachelorette parties, so often we get a lot of interesting things. But truly, for things that are in great shape still, we keep them by law for 30 days. Usually we'll do even a little bit longer, but sometimes our lost and found room gets overrun with things. So I jump in my Checker Smart car, we drop over to the Calgary Drop-In Center, mustard seed, you name it. Nothing is going to go to waste.
I'm proud of what our father and our mother built. Our mother was a nurse, a NICU nurse, and she quit nursing to come and help our dad run the business because he needed help. So I'm proud of the organization that they came together to build, and I'm proud of all of our staff because without them, we're nothing. We can work as hard as we can work, but without them standing behind us and helping us and supporting us, we'd be nothing without them. And okay, I'm gonna say it, I'm proud of my brother. Because our dad died quickly, without a lot of notice. So he had to step up and take one for the team for us. And I'm very proud of what he has done for our family.
I don't have to say anything, it's all been said. Yeah, you know what, Calgary's been a great city for us, and we're very fortunate to live here in Calgary. We don't, tell people what we do behind the scenes and stuff because we don't want the pat on our back. We do it because we love the city, we care about Calgarians, and we're happy to be here for 45 years. We're going to be here for another 45 years. Yeah, it's been all good.
Thank you for hanging out with me on today's episode of My City Speaks to Me, subtitled The Yellow Legacy. When next you find yourself in any of these yellow cabs, show them some love, appreciate them, encourage them, because everyone needs an encouragement, especially during these challenging times.
I'm Ben. I love my job. I'm proud to be Checker cab driver.
Hi there, every one of you. I love my job. I like to drive for Checker, very professional company. And goodbye, have a nice day.
I am proud to be a Checker cab driver. I love my job. Bye.
I love my job. I will be always with a taxi. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is Isaac. I'm from Ghana, and I love this job, and there's no job like this job.
I'm Amadou, and I love my job. Bye for now, and see you again.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.
As always, I encourage you to share this video and leave a comment or two to let me know that you stopped by. Until I come again your way next time with more exciting episode of My City Speaks to Me from around Canada. I'm still your host, Lanre Ajayi. Don't move a muscle. Stretch. Bye for now.